Well, hello everybody, welcome back to episode 165 of Let's Play Torment Tides of Numenera. Sound like slightly out of breath. Just had my dog MG outside, basically wrestling with the neighbour's dogs and trying to run after her, so a little bit. Okay, wait. You are in a great hall that is more like organic space than a constructed room. Machinery literally sprouts around the floors and walls, with no sign of where the synthetic metal gives way to the substance from which it has grown. Through humid, the hall feels clean and fresh, healthy and vibrant, full of promise. A holographic map of the moon hovers at the back wall. Near a small glowing pot, a voice speaks, as if from the air itself. Are you certain this procedure will give you final control over the cast-offs? If you're mistaken, the chamber may fail, or worse, detonate with you inside. This is what happened right before I fingered, isn't it? The voice of familiar. Is it my character? Familiar, but you can't quite put your finger on it. It's me. It's my character, isn't it? So basically, if I'm getting this right, we're above the planet, and if you do this, it's going to work, or you're going to get control of them all. And I'm saying this as the last cast off, and it backfires and says we fly to the planet. Where are you? What are you talking about? Of course I'm certain. Now make it happen. Where are you? By your side, as usual, watching, monitoring the resource chamber is ready to inside us. We just need to make sure this body will work as a catalyst. I'm the catalyst. If something happens down there, I'll signal you to move to the next vessel. And if you don't get out in time, well, you've got me. Let's hear it for redundancy. For now, just settle into the pod and we'll make sure this body will work for us. You know how before when I could pretend, and well, I didn't know if he chasing God or not. Then he's talking in my head, and I said for a while, I think I am. And then everyone says I'm not, even though the group thought I was. And everyone said, no, you're not. Maybe I am. Maybe he's trapped inside my mind. We'll make sure this body will work for us. You've pinpointed the source of the voice. It's coming from the staff in your heads. The staff in your hands. You peer at it more closely, and you see a glowing, ghostly image, the holographic visor from the other mirror. No, this visor looks different. Omegented. It has the ghostly blue line, the smoky appearance of the Spectre. It is the Spectre. Try to remember how the staff works. This was before, like, I didn't use any of it in the other room. Possess, you study staff, and it feels like coming home. It is a familiar friend, comforting ally. It is the cornerstone to this moon, a key to every lock. You know that it copies your mind weekly, serving as a failsafe and a consciousness that that is your natural ally. Huh. So maybe this went off, killed the changeling god, and he's been in the staff the whole time. You know, a copy of him, or maybe he's merged with me. When it speaks with the Spectre's voice, and when it must manifest, it can create a ghostly image of the changeling god's original body. Holding it, you feel safe in control. I know you. Remind me how the process works. I would hope so, considering that you duplicated me from your own mind less than a week ago. Now let's get you into the chamber. And are you feeling alright? Yes, I'm fine. Let's get back to this. Just look concerned. You're a duplicate of my mind. I'm a caster, but I've entered some sort of time loop and I'm in my body. But before I was born. See, that's fine. I'm looking back to it. Good. As I'm eager as you are to get this over with. Remind me how the process works. We're going to run the final assessment of this body. Complete scans, review, tidal adjustment. If necessary, we will verify that all of the perimeters are within tolerance. Settle into the pod, and I'll take care of the rest. Talk about the process again. Don't want any part of this. I've been trying to stop this from happening. Step into the glowing pod. Oh, great, this is the pod. I want to merge it, so I guess. You glance around the great halls one last time, your gaze lingering on the map of the station, and walk. To me, this is a memory anyway, isn't it? Lingering on the map of the station and walk to a small chamber near a vast hallway. A deactivated construct stands nearby in a state of partial disarray, its hand thrust out as if in offering. Near the large control panel outside a column, your spongy scarlet disc hovers slightly, reminding you of nothing so much as a giant blood pallets of congealing scabs. You take a deep breath and step into the pod. The staff in your hand rise slightly and you feel yourself bathed in energies. Remain calm, this is all well within normal parameters. The that the minor explosion that follows surely is not. Sudden collapse and blur. The nearby platelets vibrate furiously and deactivate Construct's arm begin to spark the flare. Get out, the sorrow is going to destroy you. Sorrow again. Your nemesis manifests in the Great Hall. Its form is tedious, whispery as it congeals, gains solidarity and it fits and starts. The moon's eternal defences are slowing it, but they will not be enough to keep it out. As you watch, the sorrow shrugs itself past another line of defence, jerking itself towards a more terrible reality. Focus snaps towards you. It coils and revs, desperate to wipe you from existence. Get to another body. We can always make a new calculus. Go. How do I flee this body? Do we have anything that can stop the sorrow? Studying the map to find a way to escape pods. Quick fingers, low natural. Try to pull off one of the vibrating pallets. Smashing low. Examine the construction. Smashing. Go with a quick one. Success. You take control of one of the discs. Your fingers sink into the spongy material, and with a slight twist of your wrist, you detach it from the column of energy that holds it. It hums and cycles in a pitch that makes your eyes shudder. With each cycle, the disc shifts your vision, changing the colours you perceive. The tides churn within you as you hold it. It may have some effect on the sorrow. Studying the map to find the way to escape pod. Smashing law, examine the construction. Critical success. Sat pools spent on effort restored. Nice. The construction itself is beyond repair, but a quick study reveals that each of the construction limbs were designed for independent power, so even through most of the connection is quiescent, its spiked powered hand is not. Spiked powered hand is not. Working quickly, you detach it from the construction frame. It will be a supple gauntlet. The powers that course through it might serve to delay the sorrow advance. Studying that to find a way. Do we have any to fight the sorrow? Do we have anything to fight the sorrow? Spiritual last is a half a sob. Stop, no, slow, maybe, look around. I'll try to keep it occupied through the station's defence as best I can. Amnesia, study the map. I guess I should find where it is just in case. So the option. It's a multi-level projection. Its rotation and layout is prepared in a way that is naturally pleasing to your eye, and you trace the route to the nearby escape cocoon without difficulty. You have to remember the layout of the hall, but the map is clear enough that you think you can remember the route. Feel the moon shudder, then you feel it tear the alarm from the Great Wall. You have begun to stroll. The lights flicker, the moon's moisture air suddenly shrieks past you. The sorrow has breached its wall. The hallway branches with countless offshoots, piercing the winding passages of the moon. You know that your escape lies down one of these routes. You study out the map, puts you in good stead here. You count down the passage, and every landmark that you expect arrives when you expect it. As you race through the halls, you see a small slot in the wall. It holds a firm green gel that you know contains some kind of memory. Try to figure out the green memory works. Keep running. You press the forehead to the gel. It soaks into your skin, leaving behind a dry, variant paste. You are constructing the staff. You are constructing the staff you hold. The spectre speaks over the shoulder. This is strange, isn't it? Knowing that I'm watching you make my home. Watching you make my home? What? That I'm going to be updated in a week with your experience. That my conscience will fill this moon and vast. So will you, in an unbroken, indifferent chain, you say. I don't hold any illusions about this sanctuary of consciousness, but then you know that already. He laughs out loud. This conversation is turning us into a soloplist? Whatever that is. You smile. We've been called worse. The memory fades. Keep running, get to the escape pods. You pound into the bay. The door's shutting behind you. Your breach comes hot in your chest. Your breath, sorry, not breach. Your breath comes hot in your chest. You double over to catch your breath. Several cocoons are arrayed along the outer wall. You need to activate one and it will spin its webbing around you. The smart membrane is tough, heat resistant, and it will transfer the entry of the kinetic force away from you at the moment of impact. You see injection of some sort, but it's across the bay. You might not have time to reach it. Sorrow tears apart the wall in a fury of light and tidal energy. The flickering energy inside its hold betraying no emotional except hunger. It is inexorable. The most you can hope to do is slow it down. Use the pallet you tore from the column of energy. It's a gauntlet that took from the construction. That one. You hurl the pallet across the bay. The instant it leaves your fingers, it begins to change its shape. It becomes a cloth, a shroud, and it curls over the sorrow. enveloping your enemy. It molds itself across the creature like a giant scab, fixing the sorrow in place. For a moment you dare hope that you have arrested its motion, but the scarab fragments, cracks, peels and falls to the floor, a pile of organic flakes. Great. Run across the bay, then use the gesture. Whoa, what's that? Oh, there you go. You race across the room and snatch the scythe from its case. Reading the label, you see that it is a stimulant designed especially for a cast-off. It confines heightened awareness, resistance, pain, and improved accuracy and focus. And you reason if you use it now, it's in your own body. It might carry into the future. If you survive the present, you slap the injection into your thigh and trigger it. You feel instantly calmer. The world is brighter, and you can hear the sorrows in a struggle progress. You have a few bare moments before it comes. The sorrow recovers all too quickly from the previous attack and comes for you again. Use a gauntlet you took from the construction. Well, yeah, I'm on the opposite side now, so I've got to, don't I? You slip the gauntlet over your hand and hold it out in a wandering gesture. The energy that blasts from it tears the sorrow apart, distorting it, utterly stripping your foe to its component. Have I killed it? I honestly didn't think that would work. Mortals the Spectre. Silence reigns in the bay for a moment, and then the sorrow manifests again. Oh, of course it does. Manifests again. Threads of acid smoke weaving themselves together. Guess not. Climb to the escape pod. You slip into the cocoon, activate the injection sequence and trigger it. The membrane embraces you, forcing you to drop the staff. Ah, of course I do. And begins to slide free of the killing ground of the moon. And then your tattoo blazes as it's tearing open in an onslaught of the tide, all in blue and silver, a stream of information too fast and too large to process. A mighty blast buffets the cocoon, and you feel one of the sorrow's inky tentacles caress your cheek and burn into your mind, severing away knowledge and memory even as you tumble towards the earth. Amidst unspeakable pain, you feel something new forming within you, but you lose consciousness before you can identify what it is. So like I said, this is the start to start the game, and I think the Changeling God never left me. I'm still I'm it. Let's see what it says. Oh no, we're here. Wow. Hey, we can get in. Woohoo! Open up. Whoa, you just appeared. Spectre, I hoped you would open that for me. Oh, great. And here we are, the Spectre says, and his voice is not tied to his body. It's changed into God, isn't it? He's been Simon the whole time. Pause from the walls around you, from the shifting floor beneath you. Your feet. It's time for some hard truth, child. Before you can finish, the air twists in the room, explosion of light, and a scared figure steps out of it. Okay, what's going on? First cast off. How this for truth? Her voice is worn and hard behind a mask. The resonance is mine, it belongs to me and all cast-offs. I have worked too hard for it to be otherwise. Stand aside, old man, and let us determine our own destiny. His smile is disconcerting. Your destiny? You are a part of me. Your destiny was never yours to determine, and the resonance is not yours to claim. He gestures his hand in your direction. Only the latest cast-off can open the door. That body and I are the only ones capable of using the power beyond. You are out of your depth, Maro, and this no longer concerns you. He ignores her and turns to you. I need you to open the door, and you've done that. The cage I can handle on my own. His voice presses down on you like a hand, as if trying to drop you to your knees. When I enter the resonance, it will be to return my errant children to my mind where they belong. Lead me to it, and we have no further quarrel. What say you? Oh, crud. You think someone who calls himself the Changeling God would learn from his mistakes? I'm thinking about it. This hasn't been an easy road. I'll die before I let you. Learn from his mistakes. His legs are shifting. Irritate flashes across his translucent face. I'm not here to debate who I am or what I've done. I'm here to claim what's mine. The ground rumbles mercilessly beneath your feet. And what is that exactly? He looks at the ghostly form of the Changeling God's daughter, as if noticing her for the first time. His surprise is a brief, chill wind whipping across the darkness between you. You, he mutters, you're her ghost? The one that haunts me? My daughter is dead. Do you hear me? I can't bring her back no matter how hard I try. Is that so? But she apparently has nothing more to say to him. He shakes his head. Enough, I don't wish to fight you. Cast off, but neither will you keep me from this. What will it be? You're right, you've earned this. There's another option. This is your daughter, full consciousness. If we merge all of the cast-offs with her, she can finally be saved. The resident is not yours to claim. The real Changeling God died when I was born. You're just a backup of his memory. You will not enter the door. Oh. Ah, so that's what happened. But it went to his mind. Maybe sort of it. I don't know. Door's full consciousness. If we merge all the Castos with her, she will finally be saved. We should trade our minds for hers? Tasha snorts. I don't think so. Standing utterly still, the spectre avoids the ghostly woman's gaze. No, he says. She's not real. I want her to be, but wanting doesn't change anything. My daughter is dead. Look at her. Look at her. She says, demanding her attention. Look her in the eyes and say she's not your daughter. This is ridiculous. The spectre gazes, moves to her, and he falls silent. His jaw flexes and he forces himself to look away. He sighs. Ay, caramba, this is weird to read. And you know what? We're going to do this next episode. So please like, please subscribe. See you next time. I've been IVATOPIA. You've been awesome. And hopefully one more episode and we finally finish this series. Bye everybody. Have a great wonderful day. Remember to subscribe. Bye.